Hey, and welcome to a Creo modeling session. In this video I'll be showing you how you can design your own drone racing frame. So let's dive right into it and set a working directory first. This is the place where everything is going to be saved. Now that we got our working directory selected, we can start creating a new assembly and give it a name, LT210 for this one, and hit the OK. And there you have your first assembly in the tree. Next we're going to create a skeleton model, standard one. Hit the OK and it will be added to the assembly. Now let's place our first sketches by activating our skeleton and create a new sketch on the top plane. Select sketch and let's start off with a rectangle like this. Give it a width of 38 and this will be 160. Lock the dimensions and hit the OK, and there you have your first sketch in your skeleton. Let's create another one on the same top plane, and we're going to create some datum points here. Just place them random because we'll be constraining them and also dimensioning them. So place a center line also, and let's create some dimensions. Give them some values. They're still all over the place, but now we're going to constrain them, and then it will be a bit nicer. So like this, and these also. Top and bottom is the same width, and these are different. That looks good, so let's lock the dimensions, and now let's place some circles for some drilling holes. Give them a diameter of 3.2. Lock the dimension and hit the OK, and there you have your next sketch in your assembly, in your skeleton. Now we are going to use these sketches to create the frame and the top plate. So let's create a new part and call it frame. Okay, Okay, and let's place it on the default. And okay, now you see you have your part, your first part in your assembly. Next we are going to activate our part and take these sketches over with the copy geom, and let's select all the chains from the skeleton. Let's also take the reference points. They can be handy afterwards to place some components on or use as references. Hit the OK, and now you will see that if you open your part, you have the same sketches in there, and you adjust them in your skeleton and do a regenerate, and they will update in your part. It's only done for the components that use the same references. So now let's start our frame by creating an extrude on the top plane, and let's create a circle, a construction circle. No, give it double click, give it a diameter of 210. Next, let's place a rectangle on the circle, let's give it a dimension like this. Let's lock the circle. Now you can change this dimension only, so you can make it an X frame or an H frame, whatever you like. Hit the let's also place some points here on the intersection. And now we are going to create some sketches. Always lock your dimensions that don't need to be changed when you move something. You can set it in the config.pro that when you enter a value it will all automatically lock them, but I don't have it set like that. So now next let's project these curves. Let's take also these. Now let's place a center line from this and place it random. Also going to place one in the center here, and like this. Let's give it an angle. something like this. Okay, now let's sketch some lines for the arms. Let's make them parallel to the center line. Let's constrain this point onto the circle. Mirror this line over. Connect this point. Oh, I will drag it. Also no. Let's lock this dimension for now. Okay, then let's place a diameter, a width, sorry. Lock. Come on, let's do it like this then. And let's place a line here. Alright, let's remove these segments here. Make sure you have them all like so, and now you see your sketch is complete. Now it's yellow. Let's select both lines from the arms and let's mirror them over to the right side. Let's select them again and mirror them over to the top side. And now we're going to delete all these segments. Make sure you don't forget those tiny ones. That was too much. There you go, I think I have them all. Something like this. Let's make I want to make this a bit smaller maybe, but no, for now it's alright. And now you can just play with this angle like 75, and also this one, let's say 100. This is too much. This would be almost the next frame, and yeah, you could make some configurations. Alright, that should be okay. Let's hit the OK. Let's make it 5 thick and extrude to the other side. And hit the green check mark. And there you have it. First basic extrude. Let's place another extrude on the top and make a construction rectangle. This will be 30.5. It will be for the mounting holes for the flight controller. Let's create these circles. Make it a cut, and let's do it to that surface. So if it becomes thicker or thinner, it will always go through. Now we can start creating some maybe some cutouts and mounting holes for the motor. So let's do another extrude on the top plane, and let's place a center line and use this axis as reference. Just hold the Alt and select it. Just place this random, and we will give this dimension a relation later on, so it always moves with the arms. Let's create another center line perpendicular to the previous one, and let's sketch some circles first. Then some lines. There you go. Let's, oh, you see I forgot a little piece. Now that's better. Let's dimension them. I don't want it like this. And this the same. Let's make it nice and even, and let's give it a 1. Alright, let's log the dimensions. Now let's create some other center line. Yeah, draw some circles again. I want different ones here. Let's remove them. This should be 3. And let's make the others equal. Much better. And now we only have to dimension them. So one will be 19 and the other one will be 16. Make him symmetric. And this should be a-okay. Hit the OK, make it a cut to the other surface and hit the green check mark. Now the only thing is the relation, so go to Tools, Relation, and select this Extrude and select the D24 or whichever you have there, equals, and select the first extrude and select the other angle. So D24 equals D8, and if the first extrude angle changed, this one will update. Hit the OK and regenerate. That looks good. Now let's mirror this one over. Select both of them and mirror them over. There you have your cutouts for the motors and the mounting holes. Next, it's so edgy. Let's give it some round. So let's create a set. Hold Control and right mouse, indent edges. Yep. Same for these. We got them all. Let's create a new set. Also select indent edge. That's okay. And that should be ready for the next step. So the frame is pretty solid now still. So let's make it a little bit lighter and create a new extrude on the top. Take a rectangle. Hit some dimensions and let's use this as a reference. Hit the OK, make it a cut again to the surface on the other side. Should be fine. Let's pattern it in a direction like this, and let's place 6 of them. Hit the check mark. We can maybe space him a bit more. And that looks fine. Now let's drag it above the round. And let's add another set of rounds to these cutouts. Nice and roundy. Alright. There. Let's create another one on the top plane. Yeah, it's really just using simple extrude, nothing special. create a circle here. Maybe let's also mirror it. Let's give it a 10. Let's round off this value. Lock. Let's also put some slots for some zip ties or something. There you go. Give this a width. Something like this, and let's give this a length and then an offset. Something like this. And let's lock the dimensions again. Keep it clean. Make another cut. Select the surface and hit the OK. And it slowly starts to look like a frame you can mount stuff on. So let's now start placing some other components on the frame. So we can maybe start with the top plate. So let's go back to our main assembly and let's assemble. Let's start with the spacers. Okay. Let's try to place this one. It only has a coordinate system, so let's use the datum planes as less reference to the frame itself. This one. Here I'll be using maybe the... no, I only can use this. Hit the OK. And there we have placed our first spacer. Let's pattern them and use points and select the second sketch. And we'll see it places all these points. You can select them if you don't want a spacer on this location, but we want them everywhere, so hit the OK and boom, we have our spacers placed on our frame. Nice. Now let's measure this distance. It's 35, so now we're going to go back to our skeleton and activate it, and I'm going to offset another coordinate system in this direction with a value of 35. Okay, and now we have our coordinate system there. Let's rename it to top plate. Nice. Now let's create or start creating our top plate with creating a new part. Let's call it top plate. Okay, yes, and now we are going to constrain this coordinate system onto this one from the skeleton. Hit the OK, and you will see it's now placed on a nice spot. Now the same procedure as the frame, we're going to activate it and use a copy geometry and create an external one. Select the skeleton, and now comes the part that you have to select it correctly. So we're going to place this one over here, and we use default to this default and hit the OK. Select the chains, and let's maybe also take the points for reference. You can always remove them if you don't use them. And hit OK. Now you see you have the sketches from the skeleton on the right location in your part. If you open it, it's nice and square to the default planes. Oh, I forgot a point. No worries, we can go back and edit definition and select this point, hit the OK, and voila. Now let's start with the top plate and activate it, and we're going to create an extrude on the top plane. Let's start by taking over the circles from the skeleton. There you go. And now let's take these curves something like this. Let's place a center line first. Sketch a new line mirror this over and connect it with another line. We have to close this here, so let's make it something like this. Let's remove the outside sketches, and it's closed. Alright. Let's give it some dimensions. Give this 2.5, 50, yeah. Let's give it 150. Alright, lock these up, and now let's do a cut for the camera, because you need to see where you're going. Let's give it 21 and 15. Let's constrain them horizontal to this center point of the circle. Looks completely constrained, so alright. Oof, this is a bit too thick. Let's give it 1. Yeah, should be fine. Hit the OK. Let's round it up quickly. Let's start with these. I want them a bit bigger here. Let's make them smaller now. Come on, this one. Let's go back to set 1 and make these also 8. Okay. This is the top plate. Next we can make some cutouts, make another extrude on the top plane. Make a rectangle. Let's dimension it. It's a bit too big, something like this. That should be fine. Let's make another one and another one. Let's space them out from each other. Some random numbers. Okay. And the last one here in the front. Select them all, lock them and hit OK. And there are the cutouts in your top plate. Let's drag the extrude above the rounds and let's add another set. This bit too big. Let's make him a bit smaller. Let's give him 2. Alright. Okay. Now let's add a few slots for some battery straps. Activate the top plate and create another extrude on the top datum plane and create a circle. Equal, create a line, and remove the segments. Also create a center line because we are going to mirror it. And let's dimension it. Something like this. Hit the OK to the surface, and there are your slots. Let's pattern them in a direction of the front plane. make this 50 and hit the OK. And there are your slots for the battery straps. Let's make another extrude on the top plane and create a circle for your antenna. Somewhere here. Let's also create something where you can hook your battery leads in at the back. Something like this. You can screw your VTX antenna in and hang your battery leads with your XD60 connector. Whatever you like, you can make it. Some have it on the side here. I'm also not a fan of having it close to the video transmitter or antenna for interference. Let's also create some side plates for mounting a camera. Let's go back into a skeleton and activate it. And we're going to create a sketch on the top plane again. And let's first place a center line. Create a rectangle. Now let's create some circles. Let's remove these segments here. This looks like a nice cutout. Maybe dimension it a little bit. Something. It is too much. Let's do it like this. Let's log the dimensions. Mirror them over to the other side. And let's create a circle. Let's create a rectangle. And let's create a circle. And let's create a rectangle. 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 And let's Let's give this also a dimension. Let's place a center line here somewhere, and let's mirror them, and then just remove the center line. No. Oh well. And no, cancel. No. Let's lock these ones. Lock. This is pretty close to the hole. Let's change this to 6. Let's keep it at 6, and that should be fine. Hit the OK. Now they're in the skeleton. Let's create a plane. Now we created a plane through one of these segments of the sketch, and now we're going to place a coordinate system to place our part on and start creating this side plate. So let's oh, forgot to fill in the dimensions. Somewhere here. I'm taking the rotating point of the camera, placing it somewhere. That's gonna be fine, we can always change it afterwards, so hit the OK. Now we can create our new part, so let's do that by creating new. Let's call it side plate. Okay, let's assemble it, and then side plate, select the coordinate system and select the one we just created. Now if you change something to these slots, the datum plane and this coordinate system will move with it, and so will the part. So now we can activate the part, create an extrude on the right, no, on the front, select sketch, that's still the wrong one, let's remove, still the wrong one, it's the front then, no, it's the right, but alright, last time it's the front sketch, and now it's upside down. Let's flip it over, there you go. Now let's take our rectangle, let's take this one, something like this. Let's also create some cutouts in the side, nothing special, and let's place the hole for the screw in the middle. Delete the segments on the side, on both sides actually, and let's give it some dimensions. This should be fine for now. Let's give it a thickness of 2. Not 2, it was 1.75. There we have our basic plate. Okay, so let's get this side plate for the camera finished. Let's open it. And as you see, I already taken these copy jumps from the skeleton and from the top plate, so I can make some references. So let's create an extrude on this plane and start sketching some lines. Let's create a circle. Let's do let's go up till here and then go like this and then make a little cutout here. Go back up. Create the same circle like this, and then we go all the way up. Now let's remove these segments from the circles, and now the sketch is complete. Let's also put a center line in the middle and create some constraints. Let's make this equal something like this. Let's make this equal. Let's place this one on here and this one on here. Let's give this a dimension of 1 and let's put this tangent. Let's also give this a dimension. Let's give it 5. Yeah. Now let's create some extra ones. Let's make this a bit smaller if possible. Make this 0.5 wide. So bigger goes and smaller doesn't. Come on. What's the problem? Here we go. Let's make this 1.5. Let's constrain it. Let's make this a bit smaller. Let's make it 3 or something. Well, for now this is okay for me, so let's remove it. Let's still make this a bit smaller. Let's make it something like this too. This is better. And there you go. That's our first cutout. Let's do the bottom one on the same front plane. Start making the kind of the same sketches and references. Oops, that's the wrong one. Should be this one. Come on. Let's corner it. There you go. Let's create some circles again. Place this one tangent. And then going to here. There you go. And we're going to do this on the other side as well. Let's place a center line for symmetry. Right. Now let's remove those segments here. And we still have to close this one, and we're going to do this with an arc. Go out of the top and make something like this as you like, and let's place this one nice in the center. And we need to constrain this one on here, and then we have another issue. Delete. No. Okay. What's this now? Okay. There you go. Let's make this 1.5. Let's make this 4.5. And now we still have to do this side here. Let's also make remove those segments, and there you have it. That's the last cutout. Okay. Yep. And as you can see, you can view it already. I compare it with the skeleton. That this should be fine. Let's maybe change these a little bit more. Let's make these also equal. Accept. Alright. And something failed. Let's check it out, what it is. So we have to update them. Okay. There you go. That looks alright to me. Let's maybe add around here, not here, but here and here. Okay, let's go back to our, let's maybe save it first and go back to our assembly, and as you can see, it's now fitting really nice. So we also need one on this side, so let's assemble it. I already put this coordinate system here like the other one in the skeleton, this one and this one. So now let's but it's not gonna be the same. So see, this side is different than the front, so we're not going to be able to just place it there, or maybe we can. Let's think about it. Let's place it quickly and see what happens. So as you see, it's backwards. Okay, so let's cancel this And let's open it again, and we're going to rename it. Rename, and this is gonna be side plate right. Okay, let's make a copy, save a copy, and let's call it right plate left, and hit the OK. So now let's close this one, assemble the side plate left on the coordinate system. Hit the OK, and now we have to change some things. So let's activate our left plate, and let's edit these copy jumps. For this one we're going to take this chain, remove this one and this one, and also select this single one and hit right. Some things are going to fail, but that's normal. Okay, let's remove all of them, and let's take this one, and this one. Okay, since these are lost, we're going to replace them by this one, solve, and this one is going to be this one, solve. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh no, it's a good one. Close. That's that. Now we can make these the same as this one and this one. Hit the OK. Now for the cutouts. Yeah, no worries. Since it's a copy, let's just remove them all. Come on, shift, delete, and also remove the sketches. Yes, it is. Alright, so we're going to project, and we're going to no, let's take chain, and let's select from this one till is it not selecting a chain? So from here till here. accept. So I want also from here till here. Next, accept. I also want from this side all the way to this one. Accept. And from this till this. It's not completely correct. We need to remove this one, create a line between this and this. Alright, that's better, huh? And now let's also do this one. There you go. Alright. It looks the same. Great. Now this is the same on both sides. Let's do it also for the last extrude. Update. Let's remove them all. Delete. Also remove the sketch. Going to select chain again, and let's put this on wireframe this time. So we want from here till, oh no, we want from here till here. Next, accept. And we also want this one till this one. Come on. Accept. And on this side it's just this. Why is it not selecting? Oh well. Let's add this line here. Let's do it also for this one. And now on this side, let's make the rectangle. Let's add the rounds. Oh, they're still there, so I don't need the round here, so that's okay, delete it. So now the two side plates are both the same, and our frame is kinda done. let's just give it some colors quickly. Let's take something like this. Let's make this, let's edit this. This is a bit too dark for me, and let's keep it there. Going to make this maybe a bit darker, like this, a bit lighter, like this. And our basic frame is done for now. I hope you like this tutorial. I'll be making a next one with assembling some parts, so stay tuned for that one, and talk to you guys next time. Bye.